48 years have passed since former Indian President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed declared the emergency on the advice of then PM Indira Gandhi. It was a dark period of 21 months from 1975 to 1977 as the law of the land became void or rendered ineffective by the ruling regime. Hello and welcome to the Pamphlet. During dark days of the emergency, none was spared from atrocities of the Indira Gandhi government, either be it opposition leaders, dissenters, journalists and even citizens. A mass sterilization campaign was kickstarted by the government, intended to control the rising population of country. However, people were forcibly coerced into vasectomies by the authorities. The emergency saw a wave of terror among Indian men who did everything possible to avoid any government official. Several reports show that police with government officials rounded up or kidnapped poor people from the rural areas, as more sterilization numbers in their record earned them a medal or even a promotion. According to an article, government workers from train inspectors up to the top brass were working to sterilize as many men as possible. Some even had monthly quotas for how many men they had to convince to get vasectomies. This zeal of the authorities showed results, as in 1976-77, the program led to 8.3 million sterilization, most of them forced, up from 2.7 million the previous year. But what exactly motivated Indira Gandhi government to undertake such a drastic and unprecedented campaign? Was it to approve Sanjay Gandhi's whims, or because the West was concerned about Indian population? Ever since independence of India, the image of the country towards people in the West has been that of crowded streets and roads. Moreover, in the early 1970s, an anti-population trend picked steam in US mainly due to a book named The Population Bomb. The book was co-authored by Paul R. Ehrlich and Annie Howland Ehrlich in 1968. The book mainstreamed the ideas of population explosion, which was prevalent in intellectual circles for decades. Through his apocalyptic language and predictions, Paul successfully planted the fear of overpopulation among the masses and even elites. It also inspired several governments and institutions to plan about controlling their growing population. However, India, under the control of Indira Gandhi and her son Sanjay Gandhi, who was by the way making rapid strides as a successor of his mother, implemented the population controlling scheme like none other. What was the reason? It is said that the US government started pressurizing Indira Gandhi to embrace a more extreme population control policy years before the emergency. A strong lobbying effort supported by corporate funders like the Rockefeller Foundation, Shell Corporation and the Ford Foundation convinced the US administration, then led by Lyndon B. Johnson, that population growth was a threat to trade and national security. In 1965, the monsoon rains arrived late, leading to a plunge in India's food production, and reports emerged that in the worst affected areas, people were living on the edge of starvation. The Indian Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, requested food aid from the United States in response to a problem that was getting worse. The US had food to provide, but President Lyndon B. Johnson tightly controlled the flow of supplies to India. On giving aid to India, the US President had remarked to an assistant, "I'm not going to piss away foreign aid in nations where they refuse to deal with their own population problems." According to reports, the US President was pleased with Mrs. Gandhi's guarantees on population control during their meeting, after which he sent a memorandum to Congress requesting approval of food aid to India. After the emergency, forced sterilizations were carried out in India at the behest of the West and with approval of Indian government. World Bank President Robert McNamara even praised Indira Gandhi, saying, "At long last, India is moving to effectively address its population problem." Former PM Indira Gandhi, who caved into the pressure from West, gave reins to son Sanjay Gandhi, who led the program leading to millions being forcibly sterilized or coerced into doing it. What's even more unfortunate is that none has been punished for these forced sterilizations, despite being one of the most gruesome atrocities subjected to Indians since independence. Thank you. If you liked this video, kindly subscribe our channel and do not forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram.